to heaven, emphasizing the promise of eternal peace she felt while inside the gate. However, Carla expresses doubt about whether the vision was real or just a psychological trick played by the sphere. Vance becomes increasingly impatient, insisting that they need more concrete information, as Earth's population is in a panic over the appearance of the structures. Meanwhile, Paul orders the crew to prepare for immediate departure, arguing that staying any longer could risk their lives. Carla protests, saying that the mission isn't over, but Paul insists that their duty is to report back to Earth, not sacrifice themselves for something they barely understand. Tensions rise as Carla accuses Paul of being afraid of the truth. Paul responds coldly, reminding her that their first responsibility is to humanity's survival. As the ship begins its return to the Achilles, Carla starts experiencing hallucinations of her daughter and mother again, this time urging her to complete her purpose. Overwhelmed, she decides to return to the gate without informing the crew. When Al discovers her plan, he tries to stop her, but Carla manages to convince him to let her go, arguing that the gate might hold the key to saving Earth. Carla suits up and ventures back to the gate alone. As she approaches, the sphere begins emitting a low-frequency hum, and the gate pulses with light. Carla steps through once again and finds herself back in the Golden City. This time, she is approached by an entity resembling her daughter, who speaks in a voice that is both familiar and otherworldly. The entity explains that the city is not heaven but a construct created by the Creator to help humanity transition to a higher state of being. It reiterates that the choice to enter is a test of faith and willingness to evolve. Carla is offered the chance to stay in the city, but she hesitates, remembering her crew and the millions of lives depending on her. She asks the entity for a way to prove to humanity that the gate's promise is real. The entity gives her a glowing artifact and tells her it will activate only when humanity is ready to choose unity over destruction. Carla returns to the ship just as Paul and Al are preparing to leave without her. She shows them the artifact and explains what she learned, but Paul remains skeptical, calling it a dangerous gamble. Vance, overhearing the conversation through the comms, demands that Carla bring the artifact back to Earth for further study, declaring that no one should go near the gate until they understand its true purpose. As the ship departs the sphere, Carla watches the golden light of the gate fade into the distance, feeling torn between hope and doubt. On their way back to Earth, news breaks that the mysterious structures have started emitting signals, causing global panic. The crew is left to wonder whether the artifact holds the key to humanity's salvation or its ultimate downfall. The story concludes with Carla staring out of the ship's window, clutching the artifact tightly. Her mother's voice echoes in her mind, whispering, "The choice is yours, my child. Choose wisely." Carla returns to the ship from Jerusalem, referring to it as heaven. Despite Vance's persistent questioning, she avoids mentioning her family, only admitting to having seen nothing. Frustrated, Paul leaves the room after the call, and Carla questions him about Sean's death. Ul explains that Sean's suit ruptured, leading to his demise, but Carla is skeptical since the suits are designed to be unbreakable. Al then suggests Sean failed to secure his glove, causing decompression. Carla, unconvinced, points out that Sean was an experienced explorer. A suspicious Al reminds her that even experts make mistakes, advising her to rest. Carla, however, is determined to explore the sphere again, only to learn from Al that the ship has already departed. As they walk through a corridor without cameras, Al questions Carla about her true experience inside the gate. She reveals seeing her family and confesses her distrust of Vance and Paul, suspecting they're hiding something. Later, Al returns to the main deck, where Paul interrogates him about what happened off-camera. Al insists Carla said nothing new, but Paul remains suspicious, warning Al to follow orders. As the ship exits the sphere's orbit, the AI announces the crew must prepare for hibernation within an hour. Carla, armed with Ruben's knife, investigates Sean's body and suit before breaking into Paul's room. Searching for clues, she finds a gun and incriminating files but is caught by Paul via security cameras. Paul sends Al to confront her, but Carla uses the gun to hold Al back. From the files, she discovers Al's history as an elite soldier and hitman, though Al insists he left that life behind and denies knowledge about the sphere. Carla forces Al to accompany her to the main deck, where she confronts Paul at gunpoint. Paul accuses her of mutiny, punishable by death, prompting Carla to reveal her belief that Sean was shot. She suspects Al, given his hitman background. The tense standoff is interrupted by Vance, who denies being Carla's enemy and claims his scientists believe she saw heaven. He broadcasts footage of desperate crowds on Earth, further destabilizing Carla. Paul seizes the distraction to attack her, but Carla fatally shoots him in the chest after a struggle, though she is injured in the fight. Vance admits to orchestrating the events, revealing that he built the sphere not as a gateway to heaven but as a method to manipulate and control humanity. He confesses Earth is overpopulated, and the sphere was designed to eliminate billions by luring them to their deaths under the guise of salvation. Carla learns her visions of her family were induced by a chip Vance implanted in her after an accident he caused. Enraged and heartbroken, Carla brands Vance a monster, invoking a lesson from her mother about survival and second chances. Meanwhile, Al manages to seize control of the Achilles core. Vance, realizing their plan to destroy the sphere, activates the ship's self-destruct sequence. Carla destroys Vance's hologram interface and contacts Al, who provides the code to detach the main ship from the cargo structure. However, Al is trapped in a slow-moving elevator, unable to reach the main ship in time. As the Achilles begins exploding, Carla is forced to separate the ship, leaving Al behind. She watches in despair as the massive structure disintegrates, believing Al is dead. Miraculously, Al contacts Carla moments later, having escaped at the last second. The two share a brief celebration over their survival, but Al reminds her that the core detonation must now be done manually. Carla agrees, and they prepare for one final mission. When the ship lands on the sphere, Al locks Carla out, insisting she return to Earth to reveal the truth. Heartbroken, Carla obeys, bidding Al a tearful farewell. As the ship departs, Al detonates the core, destroying the sphere and fulfilling their mission. Carla begins her solitary journey back to Earth, knowing the truth must be told. The AI informs her the trip will take 7 years, leaving her with ample time to reflect on their sacrifices.